Parliament approves a $36.5 million overdraft facility, $33 million for the Ministry of Public Works, and the House of Parliament adjourns following the approval of 5 acts. Thank you for joining us on another edition of National Focus. I'm Jarna Hector. Stay with us for details of the headline stories and others after the break.
Black Sikatoka se yo maladi ki ka efekte fey fig epi banan. Maladi sa la ke weste a lese fey la apwe ou tiwe yo hod plan la. Pa seve fey fig epi banan ko kushon le ou ka mene dawe la plas e bilot peyi. Pa chaye fey fig epi banan tupatu. Sa ke detwi fig epi banan a pleyi la. Anou vini asam pou nou proteje dawe peyi nou. Department Agriculture.
Thanks for staying with us. A $36.5 million overdraft facility was approved by the House of Parliament yesterday, July 28, 2015. In giving his support to the request for the overdraft, the Honorable Minister for Trade, Energy and Employment, Ian Douglas, referenced past records.
Today you have a surplus actually in government. Today we have friends who are actually helping us. We are actually either financing our public investment program through grants, our friends giving us free monies so we can build the stadium, we can do the West Coast Road, we can do the hospital to come, the State House. All of those things are either done by grants or they're done by very concessionary loans. And I try to point out that the loan to the Citibank and to the Republic Bank that United Workers' Party had contracted $100 million in 1997-98 was contracted at 14% interest. Today, we have a government that has actually entered agreements with the IMF, the International Monetary Fund, and we've been able to pay back the IMF and bring the economy to a state of fiscal health.
Honorable Douglas says that government has already proven itself responsible.
The record and the reputation of this government shows that it can borrow prudently and in fact repay. So I have no reservation to support the motion by the Minister of Finance to create those overdraft facilities from commercial institutions in Dominica. So if the need arises, he will have a quick response mechanism for responding to emergencies in Dominica.
The Honorable Minister for Justice, Immigration and National Security, Rayburn Blackmore, shares similar sentiments.
We're in 2015 and we're seeking approval as a responsible government for $36.5 million. So, well and truly, almost 20 years thereafter, the overdraft facility is lower than what obtained in 1995, 96, 97, 98, 99. So I think that speaks to the good fiscal management that we have been able to exercise, firstly as a government and as a people. And I think that has to be underscored.
The much-debated overdraft was simplified and explained by Senator the Honorable Miriam Blanchard, an economist by profession.
The overdraft is required as what we call bridge financing or temporary financing. As the name implies, the facility will be used for cash flow management in the running of the government, in particular in the execution of its public sector investment program. Having an overdraft is not new and is customary. This is not unique to the government of Dominica today or a government of another day in the same country. Small businesses, even like mine, I have an overdraft facility available to me. In the running of any operation, overdrafts are necessary as an insurance policy. In the case of this government, we are looking, the need for the overdraft stems mainly as an insurance in the event that our inflows from revenue and our daily expenditures, not just on our current expenditures, but also those on the capital program, in the event that we have a mismatch. For instance, sometimes, as we saw in the budget, we had over 30% of persons not meeting the road tax in this country. If the budget is for X amount and some people are not meeting their obligation, this can cause a mismatch in the cash flow management of the country.
Senator Blanchard emphasized that overdrafts are not meant to finance new projects. When the Honorable Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerrit rose to end debate on the overdraft bill, he shed even more light on the subject.
Because any business, or any business that has good credit management has an overdraft. It is in the event that you have to make a payment and you don't have sufficient revenue at the time to make it, so you take a short-term loan that has to be repaid before the end of the financial year. Madam Speaker, you're making projections. For example, we have made projections of $8 million with regards to the collection of vehicle registration fees. But 38% of people did not pay. So you will have fallen short of the 8. You make projections to collect VAT. People keep the money, hold the money back. They don't pay it to you. You have to go to court. You have to be writing letters, going to them. People have income tax. They don't remit to the Treasury. No, you have to go through also mediation, also court processes before the person pays you.
He added that the overdraft facility is a tool often kept in reserve by government.
The government has to finance its operations with a mix of revenue streams, whether it's loans, whether it's taxes, whether it's through gifts from friendly governments and institutions. And there are times you get the commitment for the assistance, especially with regards to the European Union. But it is slow in coming. And that's why you would have seen, for example, a reduction in the grants intake. Not because the commitments are not there or the monies have not been committed or you have not signed the agreements, but because there's a slowdown in the disbursement by the European Union. This is a situation everywhere in the world, to the point where the Bahamas, for example, has decided to stop accepting monies from the European Union because it is too cumbersome a process to draw on the resources. Bahamas. So to make it look like this overdraft, Madam Speaker, as if we're going to use it tonight, that is for rainy days. That is for rainy days. And you cannot, this is why the law provides for you to come here during the budget time to take it, Madam Speaker, to get the approval. So in the event that you need it, you already have the approval. And isn't that good and accountable government, Madam Speaker?
5 bills were unanimously approved when Parliament resumed on Tuesday evening. The Honorable Minister for Justice, Immigration and National Security, Rayburn Blackmore, tabled the bills, including one for an act to amend the Tax Information Exchange Act. In 2009, Dominica recommitted to implementing the International Standard Transparency Information Exchange with respect to tax matters developed by the Organization of Economic Cooperation and Development. Honorable Blackmore provided further insight into Dominica's compliance to the Act.
At a meeting in Mexico in 2009, members of the Global Forum agreed to a peer review process to monitor and review the progress made by jurisdictions towards full and effective exchange of information. The Global Forum agreed on setting up of a peer review group to develop detailed terms of reference and methodology for a robust, transparent, and accelerated peer review process. These standards were carried out by over 100 jurisdictions which participated in the Global Forum on an equal footing and are reflected in the 2002 OECD Model Agreement on Exchange of Information on Tax Matters. Dominica's Phase 1 peer review was conducted in 2012, and the assessment was based on the laws, regulation, and exchange of information mechanisms in force, as well as the material supply by Dominica and information provided by partner jurisdictions. On the 7th meeting of the Global Forum of Transparency and Exchange of Information for Tax Purposes, held in Berlin, Germany, it was discussed that Dominica was among jurisdictions that had not made sufficient progress since the adoption of Phase 1 review in 2012.
Honorable Blackmore says amendments to the Act will address defects in Dominica's framework as it relates to progress in this regard. Attorney General Honorable Levi Peter rose in support of the amendment of the Tax Information Exchange Act.
This Tax Information Exchange Amendment Act and the other pieces of legislation that will be debated tonight are important for the jurisdiction that is Dominica, maintaining its credibility and its good name. As has been indicated, the bill in its form protects the citizens or those who have rights whilst ensuring that Dominica will be complying with its international obligations under the Act. And that, Madam Speaker, is critical. It's something that I think that all right-minded Dominicans would wish to comply with.
The approval of this bill subsequently led to the swift approval of another 4 bills: the Exempt Insurance Act, the International Exempt Trust Act, the International Business Companies Act, and the Offshore Banking Act. Parliament adjourned following the approval of these 5 bills. GIS News will bring you more in subsequent newscasts. The Ministry of Public Works has been allocated $33 million for this financial year to undertake numerous and significant projects throughout the island. Among priority projects is a new road for the entire East.
Government plans to continue the rehabilitation and upgrade of all roads along the east and southeast coast so that their major road network in the country will be second to none. A contract has been signed for the Bois-Diab to Point Milat segment, which will include erection of a new bridge over the White River, with funding provided by the European Union. Other segments to include the Dubic Cliff Stabilization and Roadworks will be funded under the Disaster Vulnerable Reduction Project, DVRP. We have also begun discussions with a friendly government to obtain the financing required to undertake similar works on the Pont-Cassé to Castibus Road, as well as from Castibus through the Canalago territory to Hatton Garden. These works will result in a completely new road network in the east of Dominica. And I'm saying, Madam Speaker, I'm saying that this government will bring some of the best roads we have seen to the east of Dominica. Because I believe we have to address the concerns of the roads in the East in a comprehensive manner, Madam Speaker. And people of the East, rest assured that this government shall deliver on its promise to you. In short order, Madam Speaker.
The Watton-Waven-Copthall Road and the Stock Farm Road projects will begin in this new financial year, in addition to the ongoing feeder road rehabilitation program. 72.3 kilometers of farm road is expected to be redone. The Roseau and Portsmouth enhancement projects are still on the cards. Work will begin in Roseau later in this financial year.
Phase 1 of the Roseau enhancement project includes the replacing of the West Bridge and the rehabilitation of Independence Street, to include improvements to drainage, sidewalks, underground cabling of utility lines, and resealing of the roadway. Works estimated at $21.5 million will be undertaken during the fiscal year 2015-2016, and the necessary budgetary provisions have been made. The commencement of construction is targeted for the third quarter of the fiscal year.
The first phase of the Roseau River Promenade, the Northern River Wall, was completed earlier this year.
The next phase of the project is the construction of the Southern River Wall and a boardwalk. A site has been identified for the relocation of the bus stands along the riverbank.
Also this year, a major lighting project will begin with the Dr. Nicholas Liverpool and E.O. Libla highways. 2,500 solar lights were gifted by the government of China, worth an approximate $9 million. You're watching National Focus. Coming up, Housing Minister Austri shares his thoughts on the 2015-2016 national budget, and the Organization of American States funds an over US $130,000 project. Stay with us.
Dominica is blessed with an abundance of water, but getting it to your home is an expensive venture. You have a responsibility to conserve water, to use it wisely. Remember the old adage, you never miss the water till the well runs dry. Think water, think life.
Welcome back. Communities in the north and northeast of the country will soon have more opportunities for sustainable employment and an increase in the quality and quantity of agricultural produce. The Productive Employment Project, funded by the Organization of American States, the OAS, Development Cooperation Fund, was launched on Wednesday. The over $130,000 project is being implemented by the Ministry of Trade with support from the Ministry of Planning, Economic Development and Investment. Dennis Moses is the OAS representative.
On April the 27th of this year, 2015, the Management Board of the Inter-American Agency for Cooperation and Development, that is the IACD, commonly referred to as IACD, of the Organization of American States, approved a contribution from the OAS's Development Cooperation Fund of about $350,000 EC dollars in support of the implementation of a program on productive employment in Dominica. I am particularly pleased to be present here today at this signing ceremony for the program execution agreement between Dominica and the OAS. The agreement sets out the terms and conditions for execution of the program, as well as disbursements of funds to enable implementation of the program.
The project will seek to establish a farmer field school in the north, a database for the National Employment Program, as well as a hydroponics demonstration facility to introduce new farming technology and techniques for farmers. Honorable Minister for Planning, Economic Development and Investment, Dr. Colin McIntyre, says the project forms part of government's plan to reduce poverty and unemployment.
To formally establish a farmer field school in the north and northeast region of Dominica towards the facilitation of technology, best practices, methods and skills transfer in these two districts. And of course here we speak of areas like Peebush, Penville, Calibishi and most of the northern villages there where agriculture is quite evident and very strong as well too. To introduce technology and innovation as a potential and viable alternative for farmers and students in agriculture with the establishment of a pilot hydroponics demonstration system and train at least 10 participants as trainers during the pilot phase. To improve the socio-economic status of farmers involved in the program and by extension their families. To provide training to youth, unemployed graduates and others seeking the necessary basic tools to enter the world of work.
Apart from the establishment of the Farmer Field School, the project is expected to provide innovation in agriculture, train a cadre of young people for the workforce, and provide accreditation for the Caribbean single market and economy. Implementation of the project is expected to come to a close in September 2016. In other news, the Honorable Minister for Housing, Lands, Settlements and Water Resource Management, Reginald Austri, has revealed that the $500 million 2015-2016 national budget was difficult to create. Speaking to GIS News at the House on Tuesday, Honorable Austri added that the social programs, however, had to be maintained.
This budget was well crafted. It was a very difficult process. I sat on that process for a couple of days. It's a very difficult process to come up with the right mix because, as you know, the whole world is reeling under the economic and financial crisis. And so, to the ordinary Dominicans, I believe, as long as we continue to maintain our social program, the social programs are those programs we put in place to ensure that the most vulnerable people in our society don't feel the full impact of the economic, global and financial situation. So we crafted a budget to take care of the less fortunate, the school children, the young people in terms of employment program, the elderly in terms of the Yes We Care program, the housing program, the school transfer grant. All these programs we keep it in place to ensure that our people don't feel the pain too hard. And then we're going to put some capital projects in place to build the economy, to build our infrastructure so we can attract more business and attract more investments.
In tourism news, government is partnering with interested development partners and stakeholders to make Dominica's tourism product more attractive to visitors. Specifically at this time, the Roosevelt Skerritt administration is working on increasing the number of visitor-ready accommodations.
There is much interest in the real estate option of the Citizenship by Investment program and the opportunity it provides to investors interested in constructing high-quality rooms in Dominica. 160 rooms are expected to be constructed in the Cabrits under the Range Kempinski Hotel development. 2 other tourism infrastructure projects have received approval in principle, and these are currently being further assessed with a view to granting full approval. The 2 projects which have been approved in principle are the construction of a hotel in Pica, which will consist of 201 rooms, and another at Grand Savon, Salisbury, with a room complement of 73.
This is in addition to a proposed hotel development in Soufriere currently under review. That project will add 90 rooms. Of course, the employment benefits cannot be ignored.
All of these new hotels will create significant direct employment opportunities in construction, provision of hotel services, and other indirect jobs in support sectors like agriculture and fishing.
According to Honorable Skerritt's government is doing its share for nation building. The attractiveness of Dominica's tourism product also requires the participation of stakeholders.
The program outlined for the tourism sector seeks to address the important components of a comprehensive strategy to grow the sector. We expect to see the measures taken redound to the benefit of the people of Dominica. We expect each stakeholder to contribute to the growth of the sector. Stakeholders are reminded that the sustainability of tourism depends on visitors having a good experience, and as such, we must deliver the best service possible. Our service delivery should be no less than first class. We must be organized, diligent, and punctual, and must adhere to the rules and procedures set out to properly regulate the sector.
Roads in the Salibia constituency are to receive upgrades as announced in the 2015-2016 national budget. On the itinerary for road improvements in the constituency is the Horseback Ridge Road.
The Horseback Ridge Road is a major tourism route where we have strategic scenic viewpoints for persons to enjoy the true picture of what the Kalinago territory is. Also, this road is a major road for farm access. So the people of the Bataka area will benefit significantly with the development and upgrading of the Horseback Ridge Road. Community roads in Bataka will receive assistance. All inroads in the community will be attended to. And to name a few, we have the Potopi Road, which has started. We have the Magra and Samuel Road, the Salibia Road, and the expansion of other farm access roads.
Funds to improve these roads will come from the $33 million allocated to the Ministry of Public Works, focusing on infrastructure projects, including the entire road network in the East. The Honorable Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerritt has once again called on Dominicans to assume responsibility for their health. He says the cost of medical intervention is a burden for many individuals who cannot afford access to proper health care. However, the Prime Minister sees preventative measures such as making healthy consumption choices playing a big role in the prevention of CNCDs in the population.
I am extremely concerned about the high incidence of CNCDs in our country and indeed in the region. And it is important for each one of us to take responsibility for our health care. Just too many of us are engaging in lifestyles that are not, that are placing us in harm's way. And the cost, the sheer cost of treatment, small countries like ours will have great difficulty in providing the optimal care to those suffering from CNCDs. And where I sit as Prime Minister of the country and the huge sums we have to expend to provide the services to our citizens out of the country, is something that we have to look at seriously. And I'm hoping that with our move towards some kind of national health insurance scheme, that this will sort of address the financial aspect of it, but it will not address our lifestyles and our choices that we make. It is left to us as citizens to do that. Government will pass laws, government will have impositions, but at the end of the day, we as individuals must take action and take responsibility.
The Prime Minister also had words of advice to those giving medical attention to the sick.
We have to demonstrate a greater sense of caring and love and affection and concern to those who are suffering, because a simple smile to a patient, a simple smile to somebody who is suffering can make a huge difference. But if you look angry, it's going to cause the person to be anxious, and you know, if health difficulties, if you're anxious, then you become even more sick.
Honorable Skerritt was speaking at the opening ceremony to welcome the United States Navy comfort ship to Dominica on Tuesday. And that's English news. McPherson St. Luce is next with the Creole highlights.
Alors tout le monde, bienvenue à cette nouvelle en créole. Non, moi, c'est McPherson St. Luce. Premièrement, ministre de la Santé, Honorable Dr. Kenneth Darrow, qui a bien supporté musique et Premier ministre Honorable Roosevelt Skerritt, mettait un budget 2015-2016 qui a concerné la santé population là. Selon le ministre Darrow, c'est musique là qui a l'entouré population là.
Comme ministre de la Santé, moi voulais voyez support moi derrière ces mesures-là qui le ministre de la Finance et le Premier ministre Roosevelt Skerritt présenté en vendredi passé. Ça c'est là qui impose health tax là en majeur qui nous savent qui pas bon pour cadavre là qui lead to ça nous créer NCDs non-communicable diseases. Of course depuis 2007 c'est leaders en région, c'est leaders CARICOM là ils joignent en Trinidad Port-au-Prince, ils ont décidé pour because you realize effect la negative effect la que NCD take à la économie c'est pays Caraïbes là caribéen là et ben yo te promesse en même chose ça nous capable de 8 ans déjà yo te décidé pour certaines mesures qui j'ai qui nous pas faire parce que comme on te dit ne pas une pièce gouvernement qui voulait mettre introduce tax neuf en le monde.
Ministre Darrow dit qu'il est là où il veut pour le gouvernement Dominique implémenter ces mesures comme ça.
Là, nous n'y pouvons pas faire, ce n'est pas pour des taxes qu'on nous a leader pour generate revenue, mais c'est un taxe pour try pour discourage le monde pour servir ces majeurs, et c'est pour ça qui a damagé la santé. Comme ministre de la Santé, je voulais dire que c'est un bon mesure, je voulais supporter ça à 100%. Si nous c'est pas Dominique tout seul, Barbados, c'est Sister Islands en Caribbean recently aussi mettre ces mesures en place. Comme on dit, encore c'est mon misinterprète moi dis nous lag behind parce que c'est les leaders caribéens na 8 ans ils ont parlé comme ça. Mais si vous actuellement tout l'est pays par région outside world c'est faut comme là actuellement yo ni agenda NCD ça là haut en les agenda y avait budget yo. Mais nous premier à région qui parle contre ça c'est pays carré comme là. So moi voulais dire c'est ça mais c'est un bon start et c'est pas taxe là tout seul nous n'y parti nous n'y plus que faire pour faire éducation et encourager monde pour manger healthy pour manger ça nous a produire ici avec exercise et of course c'est pour nous mettre des taxes là pour discourage monde pour fumer et boire excessive alcool et c'est mis ça. So comment ça santé mon support move ça.
D'autres nouvelles, le ministre de l'Agriculture a bénéficié bien significant du budget 2015-2016. Par là, sorti du ministère de l'Agriculture, Honorable Johnson Drago. Ministre Drago mentionné abattoir et puis les café.
Premier ministre a dit à budget là qui nous avons 4 millions de dollars pour aider les femmes à faire cochon pour abattoir. Nous avons aidé plus de 40 femmes qui jacquent les cochons pour nous avons commission de 3 femmes neuf pour produire pour abattoir. Nous avons 4 millions de dollars en budget là pour ça. Le Premier ministre a aussi parlé contre ça fait café. Comme ça, nous avons ouvert un plan café à tout de suite qui est en mile. Nous avons mis plus de 100 café pour supporter ça nous Jarna à terre à pays pour supporter factory café pour nous produire café pour pays. Quand nous parlons, nous avons parlé contre ça fait figue là nous allons en figue là. Autant le Premier ministre a mis nous avons des mesures nous mettons là pour aider et encourager les gens pour boire plus local.
Et puis finalement, célébration émancipation qui a couru et puis diverses activités. Célébration là a commencé et puis activité exposition painting. Monsieur Gregory Rabes, c'est officier culture Dominique.
Département culture et puis Conseil national de la culture, ça c'est National Cultural Council en anglais. Nous avons collaboré pour organiser fête ou célébration émancipation, là c'est abolition, esclavage, fête libération au pays dans le sens créole là. En anglais c'est Emancipation Celebrations. Bon, ça a commencé et puis en exposition, c'est différents monde qui a fait peint, il a créé ça, il a petit en l'eau bagaille à Sunati Dominique moun ka danser et puis vous voyez ces belles images là moun kon Etienne Petros Miaza et puis d'autres beaucoup qui a peinturé comme ça en Dominique. Ini en activité en Yui, ça c'est les 30, j'ai dit les 30, les souhaits, c'était souhaits là nous passé un film à sous situation en Haïti, République dominicaine. Et puis système là il a exploité au pays et puis c'est haïtien et puis il passe une loi qui a affecté nationalité en République dominicaine. So il y a un film à ça et il y a une discussion après film là en Yui.
Messieurs, mesdames, ça c'est tout pour nouvelle en créole pour à présent. Non moins c'est McPherson, c'est Luce. Au revoir.
Coming up next, why curry is actually good for your health.
You're watching GIS.
Generally, curry powder has a number of valuable health benefits, including protection against heart disease, reduced risk of Alzheimer's disease, inflammation, and bacterial infections. Curry is also known for increasing the liver's ability to remove toxins from the body. And that's all for this edition of National Focus. We always welcome your suggestions and comments. Drop us an email at gis@dominica.gov.dm or visit our website news.gov.dm. Like our Facebook page, facebook.com/GIS News Dominica, and follow our Twitter at GIS Dominica. You can also catch up on past National Focus newscasts on our GIS Dominica YouTube channel. From all of us here on the GIS News Desk, I'm Jarna Hector. Thank you for watching and join us again next time on National Focus.